In a recent interview, Great-O-Khan was talking about the mass exodus of talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And for those of you who are unaware, we've seen a lot of top talents leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay left for AEW. We know that Tama Tonga and Tangaloa are in the WWE as a part of this revitalized bloodline storyline. And so we see a lot of the guys who have made their name in Japan leave to go to American-based wrestling promotions who have a very, very strong financial backing, right? Have a strong financial backing. Now, in this interview, I hope I'm not wrong, it says, Great-O-Khan says that the New Japan exodus will continue until the financial strength is increased. I think that that's very, very telling. That a company that, and Great-O-Khan is not a scrub. He is another guy in New Japan who is important. And I think that this is just a very, very telling sign of where New Japan is. There's a lot of guys who were in New Japan who were like, I'm not leaving New Japan. And now that they are, and I think that it's a sign of something. In my opinion, I feel like New Japan during the Okada, Omega, Ospreay era, they did not make a successful new up-and-coming star the way that they kind of groomed Omega to be when AJ was kind of in the process of transitioning to WWE. I feel like we got Ospreay, but after that, they didn't really have anybody else, and now the shoes are empty, and not a lot of people can fill those shoes as far as being a top guy. And I feel like the reason why there is a mass exodus and the reason why there is, a financial, a little bit of a downfall there is because of the lack of a profitable top guy. When we look at the past 10 years of New Japan Pro Wrestling, we can talk about Okada. We can talk about Kenny Omega. We could talk about AJ Styles. We could talk about Finn Balor. We could talk about the success of the Bullet Club, which in my opinion is the most influential faction in the past 25 years as it pertains to wrestling. Them and the Bloodline to me are 1A and 1B. But somewhere along the line, we never got a chance to see a new, freshly developed, homegrown star. Or I should say they weren't able to do that, or they weren't able to successfully get somebody else from a different company who can fill those shoes and can grow with New Japan. Everybody just kind of went to America, and rightfully so, right? I mean, the schedule is you're either getting more money with a less, let me rephrase that. You're either getting more money with a less hectic schedule, or you're getting more money with a heavier schedule. Either way, you go to WWE, you go to AEW, there's a very large likelihood that you're probably going to get more money. And I feel like that's where we're at. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I feel like a lot of people forget that these pro wrestlers are human beings, that they have families, that they have dreams and goals and aspirations outside of wrestling. And in order for you to reach those goals and aspirations and to meet those needs, you need money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to be pile driven for the rest of their life on the hardest mat in the world, getting stiff kicked and heavily concussed and all that strong style, and you're not getting paid what you can be getting paid if you were to just go to another company. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the thing with New Japan, and I'm eager to see what happens. But I want to know what you guys think. How can New Japan Pro Wrestling rise to prominence again? How can New Japan Pro Wrestling be the company that we once knew and once loved and had the 5-star matches and the exciting storylines and the exciting young stars? I need to know from y'all. How can New Japan Pro Wrestling get back to where they are? But we're going to be moving on.